Excuse the Christmas lights in the back, but it's December. And what I'm using is this flip video camcorder that I just got for Christmas. Can't remember if I already said that. I'm trying to think of, from the perspective of a normal, quote-unquote normal gamer, on why they wouldn't be interested in the ancient cave. And I think most gamers are up to the challenge and they play through it a few times to build up some blue chests, and then they're able to make a run all the way through and eventually beat the master, and then they're done with it. But that's not how it worked for me. Once I did that, then I felt compelled to try to beat it with other team combinations. And so on, like I talked about before. So I don't know why there's that difference between the few of us that are in love with AC and others. See, now there's a good headgear for Salon. Glass cloche, and that's one, I think that's how it's pronounced, and that's one that you're not going to find anywhere else except for the first 9 floors. Another thing someone might notice that's different than the way they play is how many times I'll escape. But to me, that's part of what it takes to be good in the AC is patience. And part of patience is knowing when you have to have a surprise attack or get in first. And other than patience, some of the keys to the AC are agility. But probably the biggest thing is just knowing the opponents. Especially knowing what they're susceptible to. And going hand in hand with patience is being willing to rotate your weapons accordingly. Now, notice I dropped the cloth helmet. And for some of my characters, that might be the best they get. Well, shoot, tight turban, that might even be better than the glass cloche. No, not quite. And that's another thing you run into. Many have noticed. The ancient cave seems to favor the ladies, especially when it comes to blue chests. So it can be a little frustrating when you're getting a bunch of equipment you can't use. But once you have down what enemies are susceptible to, what they can't be defeated with, an idea of how many HP they've got, how they move, and ensuring you get the surprise attack every time. That's all there is to it. And it just plain takes patience to do that. So maybe that's where it comes from, that there aren't very many people that are really into the ancient cave, is just because it takes so much time and patience. Alright, floor 9, so this is our last chance. Well, at least there's a helmet for somebody. So, not very many red chests on this floor. Yeah, that's it. Ugh. So, I mean, if we take a quick look at what we've got going on. I have no shields all the way around. And so I'm going to have to pick them up through blue chests or drops. And what we're going to be looking at probably is getting some wood shields from skeletons. No rings, no rocks. Of course, rocks and jewels, you'll get those through blue chests and drops, but rings, boy, that might be it. We might not just have any. I was kind of hoping to get an elemental ring, because it's neat to see how those, just how much those amplify the power of that element's magic. I kind of miscalculated here. I thought I could take them all out in the first round. Kobolds aren't that big of a deal, but because they drop the long knife, that makes really good capsule monster food. At least in the cart. That's one thing I've noticed with my particular version I've got for my emulator is what the capsule monster is hungry for is different than it is on the cart. On the cart, I've got it down pat to where I know what it's going to be asking for, and I can plan accordingly, but it's kind of a crapshoot on the emulator for me. You can see how fast these megamoths are, and that's why in like a solo run or even a two-person run, it makes them really dangerous because they multiply so fast and they can put you to sleep. And I've definitely had some solo runs end this early just because of megamoths. Looks like I need a little health. So, all in all, I'd say the first 9 floors probably brought about a little less than what you would hope for. Another thing about the first 9 floors, or at least the 9th floor, oh, there we go. There are some items that can be found on the 9th floor that are so rare. There are some I've only seen, I don't know, 3 or less times. I mean, it was years before I ever saw an S power ring. I had no idea there were any S rings in the ancient cave until one day I got an S power ring. Then when Gunty did his spreadsheet, I can't remember the numbers, but man, it's rare to find one. And there are a couple others that are like that. Alright, I'll stop here.